5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I should overcome, what for? Train in the trees, please walk my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Ain't no channel for champions and chain no fear. Yeah, the champions here.
Oh, no. No. And I was even telling you to clap and go vote. No, it did it. Oh, and I even have a huge staff here. I love you guys. Oh, for all of your patience. Ed, today will be a great show in the comment section. Yes, it will be a great show once I turn the audio on. Oh, it's on. It is on like Donkey Kong. And today is Tuesday, November 3rd. And it is, okay, we are going to, we're going to have a good time. It's election day, 2020. We have been in great anticipation for quite a while with this, okay? We've been in great anticipation, and we've been laying the groundwork, right, for an amazing victory. Doing, I get all these emails all the time and messages and stuff. I don't even know how these people got my number. They're lying to me saying that, oh, you're on a public registry. And I'm like, dude, what? You got it, you got a phone book or something? Like, what's up with that? It's my cell phone, you weirdo. But I get all of these messages. I get all these messages encouraging me, hey, go and tell people to vote. Can I tell 3 people? Right now, I'm telling way more than 3 people. Go out and vote. We need you today to go out and vote. I grew up on talk radio, okay? And I don't normally start serious like this, but this is for real, okay? This is me to you, right? I grew up listening to talk radio. My dad, he'd listen to it in the car when he was working on cars in the garage or doing almost anything. He would listen to radio, and he was in radio. And so I'd go to the station with him a lot, and I'd see pictures of Rush Limbaugh. In fact, it was a major influence on my life, both my dad and Rush Limbaugh, trying to imagine myself one day being there with a microphone. But over those years, there have been a whole bunch of elections, right? A whole bunch of them. And every single time, I would hear people say, this is the most important election of your lifetime. And it's like crying wolf. There were so many times. In fact, I would almost say, right, I would say maybe, let's say 75% of the elections in my lifetime were kind of between shades of gray within the Uniparty. They were people. They were people who, would have very little differences, very little at all. They would, they would act and play the game. It was pageantry. And there was this idea that, well, if the other side gets in, the world is going to hell in a handbasket. But the truth is, America was relatively stable. It was relatively united. There was a kind of shared sense of values and ideas. And that shared sense of values and ideas made it possible for even people who had major disagreements to still meet together face to face, to be able to work together on various projects. We talked about this with the advent of cancel culture and what that means in a bigger scheme. When in the past, if somebody made a mistake, there was still enough of a belief that you don't kick a man when he's down. There was still enough of a belief in repentance, contrition, doing something to demonstrate with your life that you were truly sorry in a heartfelt way, and that we had an idea, at least vague sometimes, blurry sometimes, but we had a basic idea of what it meant not only to forgive, but to allow that person to be reconciled, to allow that person to do things, time and space, to do things in their life, to reform themselves in such a way that we could recognize that that person had made amends and that they really meant it. We're not there anymore. That's gone. We were at a place where these two parties, by and large, and we criticize it in a way. There's pros and cons to all of these things, and one of the pros of having an establishment or even having a uniparty is that stuff gets done and that people are at least able to meet face to face. And if that value that they had was reflected, right, it was a reflection of the American people and not of special interests. Military, industrial complex people and all the contractors and everything else. If it reflected that, that would be one thing. But it didn't. It didn't. It reflected their own values, their own desires to make large sums of money and to accumulate tons of power. But those days are gone. Not the power. Not the power. The lust for power is still here. The people still want ridiculous amounts of power and no accountability, which is why we can sit there and say it seems as if there's two entirely different kinds of justice. One for the rich and the powerful, and one for the everyday American person. But that may have been true for so many elections, but it's actually not true right now. It's not true right now. It baffles me, in fact. It baffles me when I hear people, especially on the conservative side of things. No. On the conservative side and on the populist left side, people who bash Trump, or they emphasize character over what he's done. They emphasize his Twitter account over the idea that wages have gone up dramatically, that employment was at record highs, that there were things being done for groups that in the past were marginalized and ignored. And we're not just talking people of color. We're talking that group of individuals that Hillary Clinton, that she labeled deplorables, that they've said were irredeemable. To them too. Trump called them undereducated, right? These people, finally, for the first time, in fact, and this bothers the establishment. It bothers the rich and the powerful. It bothers the group now that is literally taken over the left. Americana Dems are toast, man. You could see that back in 2016 when Jim Webb got just booed out, right, of the primary. For being patriotic, by the way. He's a patriotic man. But we can see this, and you can see now that there are ideas of the world that are so diametrically opposed that it's actually scary. It's not just, and I'm not trying to sensationalize anything. I'm sorry for going on so long about this. We're going to get to funny memes, believe me. I know my mom is watching. She put a laugh in there, man, at the fact that I started with the audio down, But the thing is, I'm going to get to these funny stories, but I just got to say this to set the stage for what we're going to talk about after the fun and games, because it's gotten to a place now, and you're going to see this with the articles that we talk about, that we will see things today that we can only say that we've seen them in our lifetime because of what has gone on with the riots and the looting, the mostly peaceful protests that have gone on over the summer. People have been executed for their political beliefs right there in broad daylight. Bam, bam, done, dead, bye, in the ground. Because they support the president. This is not a joke anymore. And I've said this before, we're actually at a place, and this is scary to me. We're at a place that's so divided that that there really, that space in the middle that we could say, all right, we can reach across the aisle, whether it was the Bible or whether it was this kind of social religion that America's always kind of had. Whether it was the 10 Commandments, whether it was the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, whatever it was, we had this idea that we had a shared space in the middle between the groups, between the factions, and that space was taken up by ideas and values that we could work together and that we could debate, but at the end of the day, nobody was going to get beat down or shot because they disagreed. We're not there anymore. That place is gone. We can't be nostalgic in a way that pretends that that is still here. We can't. You know, my dad used to have this phrase. He said, you got to dance with who you brought, right? It's a version of play with the cards you were dealt. You know, you are playing the game, but that's a little bit more of a fatalist idea, this idea that you're just given some cards and you got to deal with it. There's an element of truth with that even to what I'm saying. But part of this, I'd like to say, dance with who you brought, because in some ways, we brought this on ourselves. In some ways, we brought this on ourselves. You know, in the comment section, there are people, and I'm really happy for all of you, by the way. I'm really happy for all of you. You know, I'm excited. Whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you are watching on Facebook or Periscope, wherever you happen to be watching, we're really grateful that you're there with us. If you comment, I see it, right? You may not see other people in the comment section. There's like 20 different channels that this show is broadcasting over at the exact same time. And it's on a whole bunch of platforms. So some people are on one, others are on another, but every single comment goes into the master comment section here, which I have, right? I am the wizard, and I see behind the curtain. I see behind the curtain. So, for example, yes, Cherie, today will be a great day. And it's really good to see you, by the way. Super duper good to see you. Thank you for keeping me on the ball about no sound. I don't know how long I was going into it. You know, I was even doing a clap, man. Yes, Barbara. Yes, good morning from Wisconsin. I looked stuff up, Barbara. I looked stuff up. I was so happy to read some of that stuff about your brother, Chris Farley, right? The Chris Farley. I made the joke, a fat man in a little coat, Chris Farley? And she's like, yes, that's my brother. What? You watch my show? Wow. I'm glad I can make you laugh. There's kind of a high bar there. But I thought about it. I was telling somebody yesterday, I said, it's funny because comedians like Chris Farley, shows like Ren and Stimpy, and even Beavis and Butthead, and the early Adam Sandler, stuff like life, and the way that my humor developed over the years and stuff. And so to learn that you watch the show and that you find it a lot of fun, I got to say, it made my day. It totally made my day. Very, very, very happy about that. So in the comments, we voted absentee, but we dropped ours in the clerk's drop box. You got to do that. Well, now, the thing is as I know people. In fact, my cousin was talking to me. He's in Pennsylvania, and he was talking to me and saying that he was convinced one guy to go vote, and he went to go get his absentee ballot, and they told him that he had already voted, or he had already requested his ballot, and he had not. So, yeah, definitely a problem. Let me know about the lagging, too. If it continues to lag, there's some serious issues going on here. Yeah. KMO says, I should not say the master comment section. That is racist. Yeah, dude. I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm the overlord of it. Oh, my gosh. That meme section, that meme section, the comment section, dude, it serves me, man. It serves the show well. So, I am the master of that. Oh, my gosh. And yes, in the comments, somebody asked, Bethany was wondering, have we heard about Kathy and the blood pressure? Yes, in fact. Yes. I wanted to tell everybody, and I wanted to thank everybody for praying with me yesterday. As you know, if you've been watching the show for a while, I don't do that. I know a lot of shows, they begin their shows with prayer. Right, and they get super serious and in the moment and everything, and they'll play like really, that serious kind of inspirational music and stuff at the beginning. I can't do that. That's not me. I'll pray before the show. We can pray after the show, but I don't prime everybody. I don't say let me do this in front of everybody. I don't want to say virtue signaling, but the thing is, there are some people who do that. I know even otherwise decent people, every day taking pictures of themselves with rosaries in their hand, looking up at the sun, sharing for their fans. A lot of ladies, in the veils when they're not even in church and everything. And they don't even believe that you should wear that all the time. They're not like part of that Marian modesty movement or anything like that. So it's not as if it's all the time, but it is for the pictures. And I'm like, it's, traditional Christianity kind of has its own TikToker syndrome going on. And so we don't do that. But I prayed yesterday because during the show, in the comments, one of the listeners, a good friend of mine who I care about very deeply, I've known her for a long time, she said that her blood pressure, that she was being sent to the hospital because her blood pressure was at stroke levels. It was dangerous. And we stopped. I didn't know, like, how can I keep going if I know that a listener is stopping listening and they're going to the hospital because their levels in their blood pressure are high enough that they could stroke out? I'm like, what do you do? How do you tell another joke? How do you do that? I said, you got to get in character, brother. Got to get in character. And I said, no, in this moment, yeah, okay. In this moment, you've got to get in the character of having character and saying, I have Christian character. And I'm going to stop right now, and we are going to pray for this person right now. And we did, because we are people who I've come to really, really appreciate every single person who tunes in. This is a small show. I don't have visions of grandeur with what I do, and I don't pretend that I have a bazillion. Well, I do maybe pretend that I have a bazillion people. I pretend I'm in a castle, right? Castle Paleocrat, and all of this stuff, and my staff and my secretary and all of this, my wife and kids, And so we have a lot of fun doing that. But the truth is, we are people who, wake up, Johnny Q and Sally Sue type people who wake up every day and work really hard and try to do their best at being an employee, at being a manager or supervisor, at being a housewife or a husband, and every day just trying to live the best life they can, committed to really simple precepts. Never give up, keep on smiling, and remember that one day you will die, and that day might be today. And so when something happens like that, the wolf pack stops, and we howl to heaven. All righty. And yes, Chris Farley's sister watches the show. She's in the comment section. I don't know which channel she's watching, but you can comment to her. She's in the comment section, public name and everything, Barbara Farley. It might be over at Holy Faith Media, not entirely sure. I don't know if she's watching it over at Paleocrat on YouTube. If she puts it in there, I'll let you say hi to her. Yeah. So, all right, moving on, guys. We got a lot to do. And again, I'm sorry for that long introduction because we have super duper duper important news. I mean, this is like massive. For example, this over at UPI, wandering herd of cows trashes school's harvest display. And so you guys, it's weird because we kind of get into this thing, right? Where you have an expectation of what's coming your way. And we all know Antifa. We all know Black Lives Matter. We know all of the socialists and the Marxist groups in America. But a lot of people that we know about the great animal uprising of 2020. We know about this. But a lot of our friends, a lot of our family, they don't know. In fact, I've heard stories. I've heard stories that when people try to explain this to their friends and family, they're like, what are you talking about? And you look over and you're like seeing little Fido over in the corner. And he's looking at you with a, kind of a scowl on his face. And you're like, dude, I'm going to convince Dad you might be bad. Oh, man. We have to convince them. We have to convince them. And it's with stories like these. It's with stories like these that we are going to best be able to convince the naysayers, the doubters, that in fact we are experiencing unprecedented, right? Historical, entirely unique uprising right now. Meds, money, technology, that's what the animals are after. So to downplay that, they're like, all the overlords sitting in the editorial room, and they're like, how are we going to spin this in favor of the animals? And they're like, well, don't admit the truth. They were trying to get to the laboratory for some of the beakers and the vials and other stuff. No. We're going to say they were looking for some snacks. Highly unlikely, by the way. Highly unlikely. Not even sure that cows eat snacks. Let me know in the comments section. Cherie says, my mom's dog has gone rogue. He protects her fiercely from the cats outside. Dude, hey, remember, some dogs are, in fact, our best friends. But I think that I still have a feeling that maybe the cats have the upper hand in this, and that dogs are just trying to wiggle their way in between us and maybe some of humanity's greatest defenders. So we'll see. Oh, by the way, Barbara is in Holy Faith. I believe that's Holy Faith Media. You can see if I'm streaming there. Say hi. She said, Jonathan Ross has connected me to cool people. Yes. Jonathan Ross, by the way, he's out of the country for a second. Which is why he's the big wig here. He's the manager. He's the big boss of the network. He's the man, actually. I really care about that guy. I wish we talked more, but he's a busy man. And overseeing a lot of shows, making sure that everything works. And he's not just kinda, he's a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. So he just wants to see everybody else do a really good job. Let's see here. Oh, some pumpkin-loving cows. Edneyville Elementary School posted a photo showing the fall harvest display donated by the Nick's Pumpkin Patch. Well, that sounds like a nice place. But weeks later, a follow-up post showed the display in disarray following an apparent act of vandalism. Dang, son. Principal Marcia Justice. Dude, is that really her last name? Marcia's on the case. She's all about it. Yeah, Principal Marcia Justice said she reviewed security camera footage from outside the school and identified the perpetrators as a group of 11 cows. Dude, they're forming gangs. They're forming gangs, dude. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Unbelievable, dude. We got to be on the watch out. And look, if you guys have not only stories, but if you have firsthand knowledge of any of the uprising with the animals, you got to let me know. You got to send pictures. Let's see this here. All of Cashier's frustrations are channeled into breaking open a roll of quarters. What? Oh, the hardtimes.net. I'm allowed. I can't imagine many of you while you're working, you're able to go, freak out and throw your headphones to the ground and thump your chest and get mad and point at the screen and stuff. So, I mean, I'm genuinely interested. Do any of you really find that relief when you get a fresh roll of quarters and you're upset? You get somebody through the checkout and you're really upset and they walk away and you just look at that quarter and you go, or do you ever do that when they're nagging you and they're really treating you like garbage and you're looking at them right in the eyes and you grab a pack of quarters and look at them and look at the quarters, look at them and go like this, and it just stops them dead in their tracks? I bet you do. You just freaking smack it right here like this, said, holding the $10 roll of coins before violently striking them against a divider in the till with all of his strength. He's like, watch this. Oh, that's like his way of calming down, inside of that guy's mind. Let's go see him again. Look at this. You see this guy? This is him. Yeah, inside of his mind. He's there. And inside it's nothing but Zen. It's like nothing but the ultimate peace, like Nirvana is happening right inside of his mind. Oh, the sound, the feel. Yeah. Just boom. It's like the perfect coin, chunky enough to get a good crack in between them. Yeah, that's true, dude, by the way. Yeah, that's totally true. Yep. Let's see here. Dan Duran, Marcotte's front-end manager and Lum's direct supervisor, knows all too well what small victories like giving a roll of coins a good whack can mean to a beleaguered clerk. Quote, oh, trust me, that few seconds of microaggression that you can take out right in the customer's stupid face without any sort of recourse is vital to my team's morale. It's true. You got to be able to do it. You got to be able to do it, right? Because you can't, there's certain things you can't say, right, to the customer because the customer's always right kind of thing. You can't just yell at their face and tell them to bugger off. Get out of here. Just get out of here. You'll get in trouble even when they deserve it. Even when they deserve it, because we've all, and you're sitting there thinking, dude, I just wish I had one of those coin rolls right now. And the manager's like, yeah, I totally hear you. You're very right. We're going to fix the situation. And you're thinking, bro, you literally just shot me in the back. You shot me in the back. The good managers, on the other hand, after that's over, they'll look at you and they will give you a coin roll and wink and say, we can make it through the day, dude. Put in the headphones, listen to Paleocrat Diaries. That's how I make it through. That's how I make it through. Let's see here. Oh, Dr. Marge Lubby. Okay, a clinical psychologist talks about this. Good. This is really great. Claimed an act of, quote, giving the old 1-2 to a paper-wrapped stack of coins is similar to the practice of break therapy, popularized by rage rooms. Have you ever done that, by the way? Have you ever done that? I think the closest I ever got, I never did a rage room. Maybe once when I was helping, they were actually tearing down a room to expand on it or do something like that. And they just said, go at it with a hammer, just have fun. And we did. We got to break a bunch of stuff, man. It was fun. The closest thing I ever had to that was busting the living daylights out of a television. I did, dude. I did, man. I carried that bugger right outside the house. And it was the one we were using. I brought it out. I'd had it. I said, I'd had it up. It was my pull the cord moment, cut the cable thing. I'm like, no, we're actually going to go a little bit further, and I'm going to break out the old Louisville Slugger and wham! 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 I totally did it. I could have whammed that thing for a long time. Oh, you guys don't even know. Oh, it feels so good to do that. It's so empowering, in fact. And a TV is one thing. There's a part of me that at times has wanted to do that with my cell phone, I just get so angry at how much time it consumes or how many things that I'm missing and things like that. And the drive to constantly go back and check again. Do I have another notification? His Facebook got one of those little red symbols for me with the number 1 in it. What is it? And it's like some kind of thing notifying you that a group you don't even know how you ever liked them is doing something 20 states away. You just want to break it. You just want to break it. But I have a feeling that if I did that, if I pulled the Louisville Slugger trick with my cell phone, I have a feeling that I would quickly regret that because, the utility of that cell phone is different than a TV. I mean, I'm not carrying around my TV in my pocket. I'm not putting it in the car. It's like, what do you have that in there for? My GPS. You're like, it doesn't plug into anything. You're like, I use marker on the screen. Yeah. Studies have shown that the clatter of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters, when broken over the plastic divider of a cash register, triggers the same synapses in the brain as shattering the screen of a TV. Dude, what did I say? I'm way ahead of the curve. I knew that before they even did a study. I knew it. Deep down inside. Or a passionate embrace of a loved one. Yeah, breaking that. It's like the same synapses in the brain. It's like, it's the same thing as a TV. It's the same thing as if you hug a little baby. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, but with fewer people using cash now, those small moments of release are getting rarer for our nation's cashiers. Dude, it's true. It's one of the reasons we got to get back to cash. You got to get back to cash. We got to tell the New World Order, say, we ain't down with this scheme of taking away the cash, guys. We need to get back to that gold. We need to get back to that gold, son. Man. Really? Man uses mouth to bounce table tennis ball off wall for Guinness record. Guinness, you are the worst. Guinness, you guys are opportunist par excellence, man. You're like, we'll take anything. It doesn't matter anymore. How many times did you wiggle your toes? How many hairs fell out today? Can you look and see? Cells did you rub off? A man working hard. I got a lot of them. They'll do anything. Always has a video. Oh, great. Let's see this.
Hey there, folks. David Rush here.
It's lagging. How bad? By the way, I have been told, the interruptions I rarely allow, man. I'm like, I don't know about this. Yeah, the apparently we're lagging. I didn't realize that we were lagging so badly. It's probably we were sharing internet, probably. I don't know. This is not good. Is it lagging for you guys? Let me know in the comments section. Let me know how badly it's lagging in the comments section, because I've got it says here, oh yeah, so the internet, the kilobytes per second, man, it goes down into the red. Oh, dude, this is New World Order, man. Oh my gosh. Was it lagging for you? How frequently? Ailey's coming. You got to come over here. I'm talking to someone. It's like you guys are wondering, is he talking to a real person? Yes, man. I'm talking to a real person. Yeah, it keeps telling me I'm dropping down real low here.
I'm unsure of how.
Yeah. So are you guys seeing like major time lag? You know, I'm serious, man. I got to know this, because if so, we're going to have to try to figure out if maybe I can switch over to a different thing here. It's going to cut out for a second. It's going to cut out for a second. Okay. Should I just try it, Ange? It's going to try it. You guys, okay. So for a second here, it might end up going down. Okay? This episode's going to have ridiculous amounts of problems with it. It's okay. It's okay. We're going on for
the Guinness World Records time.
I see you on there still.
You see me on there still. Okay, great. Wonderful. I'm hoping that it works. I'm hoping that it works, guys. It might be because my son's on a computer right above me. Not entirely sure how that works. It's all magic to me. It's all magical. Oh, man. Well, it seems like it's doing a little bit better. We'll find out. We'll find out if it drops back down. That would be a real bummer. Super dupe bummer. All right, we're going to keep on trudging along, guys. Here we go.
Hey there, folks. David Rush here, going for the Guinness World Records time for the most times to bounce a ping pong ball off of a wall in 30 seconds. I've got a couple.
I don't know what's more annoying. The fact that this guy is actually trying to bounce ping pong balls off the wall for a Guinness book, or the fact that between every sentence he goes, dude, I can't stand that. That's one of those noises, man. It's like right up there with, nails down the chalkboard. That it is. It is. And I've been told I had lagging. And so they switched over to Holy Faith Media, from Holy Faith Media over to Facebook. Over to the Facebook page. You should follow me, by the way. I'm Jeremiah.Bannister. You can add me as a friend. We have a bunch of people in that comment section. Normally there and on YouTube. Although I gotta say, Facebook kind of ticks me off a little bit. And by little bit, I mean, I hate it. I don't go there, man. I hardly ever do. I post there. I'll share stuff about family, but no way. So back to this guy, though. Table tennis mouth, wall bounce, Guinness World Record. Okay.
A couple of ping pong ball records. Is this the first time I put one in my mouth? I think so.
Do you hear that buzz, dude? What's up with that? What's up with that buzz, man? Stop.
I put ping pong balls in my mouth much time. Two very
okay, hold on. We're gonna see this here.
related skills. One of shooting the ping pong ball out of the mouth.
We're going to the replay. Here we go.
3, 2.
Listen to that music. Here we go.
Go.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Come on. Woo. You can do it. Look at him go. He's getting close. We're coming down to the wire. How many more is he going to be able to do? How many times in 30 seconds? Down to the wire. What?
Stop.
Stop. Oh.
Come on.
You see that? Come on. Yeah. All of his friends are like, oh boy. You can do it. Come on, bro. Come on, dude. You can do it. 43 times in 30 seconds, dude. That's easy peasy, man. I think some of these guys are only getting records because no one else is trying. And it took a guy, David Rush, out of Idaho. What do you get, by the way? Do you get money for that? Or just fame and fortune? We're all going to see him on the circuit. He's going to be on the circuit, man. He'll be on one of those, what is, what's that old show, man, where like a star would fade away, and not be popular anymore. And they would have like what went on behind the scenes in their life. It's not story behind the story. What is that? What is that? Oh my gosh. Woman in labor stops to vote in Florida on the way to the hospital. Okay, let's go see this.
All right, so a determined woman, which sounds redundant, in Orange County is making headlines around the world.
So she was in labor, but made her husband stop by the supervisor of elections office so she could make sure to cast her ballot before delivering their baby.
That's multitasking at its finest, right?
Yeah. I don't mean to dog anybody doing that, but these people are so fake, dude. They're plastic people. They might be, kind of robots, They might be cyber women. You don't know. You just don't know anymore.
News 6's Carolina Cardona is outside the supervisor of elections office with more.
The supervisor of elections office tells...
By the way, where is this news thing happening, man? Did you guys notice anything weird about this? This might be like this might be the news station dude on that Amazonian in the Amazonian world with with Wonder Woman. They're like, yeah, you're like, where is this taking place? And they're like, Amazonia. What? What? Dude, it's all chicks. They've just taken over, man. They've taken over. I mean, look at this. Let's see. Do. Yeah, some chicks. Oh, some chicks. With a story about some chicks.
It's a
good one.
Where a father-to-be stops by to pick up a voting ballot to take back to the hospital for the expectant mother. But yesterday was a first when a woman who was already in labor and on her way to the hospital wanted to first make sure she got her vote in.
She said, no, I need to fill it out right now.
That was the reaction from an Orange County woman about to give birth after Karen Briseño handed her a mail-in ballot and told her to send it back by November.
It's always hard, man. I'm glad that she pronounced it that way. Karen Briseño. I don't know how to do that, Gonzalez. I don't know how to do it. And I would feel like if I tried to play that, if I tried to do that, then people, if I was really strict, like every time, I'm like, oh, Karen Briseño Gonzalez. Like if I did that, people would be like, bro, you're being a racist. I'd be like, no, I'm trying to be, I'm trying to do the right thing, guys. It's like whack. You know what I mean? Or like quesadilla.
Third.
It was an odd situation, but she wanted to vote, and that was her right as an American citizen.
It all started around 2:30 p.m.
That lady's on the ball as an American citizen. Thank you, by the way.
County supervisor of elections
Probably a Trump voter.
was processing voter ballots.
All of a sudden, I get a voter in front of me, and he hands me 2 driver's licenses. He had been waiting in line. I came and I told him, I need your driver's license for you to vote. He says, no, you don't understand. I already voted.
The man had already voted, but
Dude.
he tells Karen his wife had not.
Karen! Karen! Wasn't there a study done recently, man, that said that, I think it was New York Times, wasn't it? They found that the most common name for women who are voting for Biden is Karen. I think it's a true story. I'm not lying about that. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I think that's actually a story.
And she was waiting in the car for her ballot.
And I'm like, well, we need her here. And he basically told me that's going to be a problem.
Oh, she could do it. Hasn't she seen, what is it? Is it Life of Brian? That one mom, she's doing dishes, doing stuff around the house. She's obviously able to do a lot. Traditional woman.
She refuses to go to the hospital until she votes.
That's when Karen stepped outside the building located close to
She did it.
Palmer Hospital.
Yes.
She was calm. The husband was a little bit more nervous. We
man.
want to facilitate every voter is eligible to vote.
Oh, it's kind of hard to hear, man.
No matter the circumstances. I gave her I voted sticker, and she was on her way to the hospital. She was very happy that she got to vote.
A happy pregnant voter who Karen and other staff members would like to reunite with.
I can't keep watching, man. Karen, dude. And I'm sorry for the audio thing, man. I'm sorry for that. I think it was just hard. It wasn't my fault. I think it's because they were wearing masks. And that was hard to hear. You're like, yo, take off the mask. Take off the freaking mask, dude. in all likelihood, let's be real. Let's be serious for one moment. Do you remember, it wasn't long ago, when CNN was at the early phases of bashing everybody for not wearing masks, and they had a guy on the camera, there's a lot of people at the Trump rally who aren't wearing masks, and a person walks by, or just outside maybe at a beach, a guy walks by recording, and he's like, oh yeah, I guess there's even people recording us, and he goes, your camera guy's not wearing masks. And they show the video of this. It wasn't just the camera guy. It was anybody else. In other words, the only person wearing one was the dude on the camera. That was it. That was all. This is all virtue signaling, by the way. This is all, everybody get in line. I am. And they take their masks off right afterward anyway. The ladies in that video that were sitting in the same room not far from each other, they weren't wearing masks. And yet this lady outdoors, what is she doing? Again, man, this is hocus pocus nonsense. It's insane, dude. Yeah. All right, a couple more funny stories. Okay, what's this thing? Wildlife trapper dons disguise to capture aggressive turkey. Okay, is there a video of the actual disguise? Okay, I don't know if I can believe this. Is there Rose Garden to be closed to visitors? Okay. Oh, okay. I baited him in with blueberries, kibble, and sunflower seeds. What's going on with this, by the way? An aggressive turkey that terrorized a California neighborhood. Dude, this might be the first time that I've seen any story having to do with wild turkeys being part of it. And guess what? UPI, whoever wrote this, they weren't even playing around. They called it what it was. Terrorism. They said, oh no, it wasn't just that they were being naughty or acting unruly. No, it was straight up turkey terror. Oh, straight up turkey terror, dude. Oh, man. You know, we got to take that bugger out. Why was he trapping him? Why was he trapping him, man? I hope it's not some catch and release crap. He's got to eat that bugger. Look, you can't release terrorists. If you catch a terrorist, you don't just release a terrorist. Especially turkey terrorists. Yeah, in the comments, CF says turkey's revenge. Dude, wow. There's so many ways to play on that right now, buddy. Oh, it's so true. With everything that's going on in the world. And by the way, that crap is not funny. That crap is not funny. Yeah. Yeah, Kathy in the comment section says, Bethany, I'm home. Bad headache. Just checked it. And it was 144/99. Thank you for caring and praying for me. Love you all. Ow! Dude, I hope you guys are howling. That is a member of the wolf pack. Thank God. Thank you, by the way, for that update. Kathy, and you are a trooper. You're watching the show, blood pressure going through the roof, and you're like, I am watching. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep on smiling. Keep it going, Jeremiah. I promise I will. I promise. Let's see here.
Save $1,000.
Oh, no,
on a
we got to
CD
turn that thing down.
anniversary.
I don't want to get in trouble, by the way. Like I said, I got in trouble recently with Facebook. They were like, we've muted 23 seconds of your video because of something or other to do with The Daily Show. It's just a turkey. So wait a second. It was captured by a wildlife expert who disguised herself as an elderly woman? Dude, are the elderly women in on this crap? Like, that the turkey would feel comfortable? I never even thought about it. Ah, dude. Esther, Ethel, and Edna. Of course. I knew it. I should have known. That's like what? That's Biden's #1 group in his fan base. The Ethels and the Ednas. And no offense to anybody watching the show who's Ethel or Edna. Those are pretty decent names. You know, generationally speaking and stuff. Esther is a name that will go on forever. Ethel and Edna. It's kind of like Merle, you know? Kind of like Merle. What's another one, man? What's another? Man, I'm trying to remember. Elmer. Like Elmer is just it's just a generational thing. It's kind of just phased out. It's kind of phased out. I'm waiting for that to happen with Muhammad. I'm just waiting. It's got to phase out, guys. We got to encourage the phase out of that. Okay? Oh, I'm divided. What are we going to do? Are we going to do the cuteness? AI camera ruins football game by mistaking referee's bald head for the ball. Dude, this is another reason why to be really afraid by this. Maybe that's more serious. Maybe it's more serious, man. Yeah, because that we're gonna put that in the. Let's go ahead and save that bugger for a future. Yeah, I have funny shows. Let's see, for non-live videos. Yeah, it's my big pool of topics that I gotta go back to because that's kind of funny, but it's also really serious. It's a serious problem. All right, last one for the funny. Here we go. This puppy is not winning any hurdle races, but gets 10 out of 10 for cuteness. You gotta watch. Okay, over 1 million views for this adorable video. This is over by Sonia Jane. Dude, Sonia, I hope that Sonia watches this show. She's got to. We have to reach out to Sonia Jane. In fact, I need to probably just interview her and just say, okay, look, you know, we know that you're on to the uprising. We follow your stuff religiously. Tell us more. What do you know? The deep, dark secrets, you know? She may have signed certain agreements and she's not allowed to talk. We're going to find out, Sonia. We're going to find out. Okay. In hurdle races, dogs are supposed to jump over obstacles. Looks like this one didn't get the memo. An adorable video, which has gone viral on social media, shows a happy little puppy failing spectacularly at an obstacle course, but winning hearts with his cuteness anyway. Dude, the way she writes, man, it's so chummy, isn't it? Isn't it chummy? I like it, man. It's like, it really kind of calms you and soothes you. It does. It makes you just really happy. This is supposed to make us happy. We'll find out. We'll find out. I'll let you guys decide. Is this good? Is this bad? What is going on with this? And by the way, yes, hi, good morning, Asteria. Very glad. I love that name, by the way. Is that your real name? Definitely loving that. CF says that the Ednas and the Ethels and all of that they all be feeding the pigeons. Dude, we know the pigeons are bad news, dude. They're super duper bad. They're the ones carrying around, you know, the little cameras and stuff. Got busted at the museum, homie. God, they're busted, dude. We bust animals all the time. Here we go. There's no audio to that. Doink. Okay. Okay. Oh, one more time. Oh, just one time through. Boink. That's kind of how I did, you know. I don't know about you guys, but being in school. Oh, this might have scores, please. Okay. Track and field, and you got gym and everything, and the gym teachers like, and today we're gonna learn how to, jump over these hurdles and stuff, and you're like, I don't really jump. I don't do that too much, buddy. I don't know if I can do that. And jump, I mean, you got to jump in a certain way and do the leg thing, I do that. I think I mentioned this on Paleo Cheese a long time ago. I have an evening ritual, but I reserve it for that. Like I jump around doing those, large split moves, the leg up in the air and body crunch down. I do that. We've got these little people living in my closet, and they come out every night. We breathe fire and bubbles and stuff. So I mean, there's a kind of a ritual that I do, but I don't allow myself to take that beyond the boundaries of the bedroom. Some things are just better kept in private. Some things might better be left unsaid, but you know what I mean. So okay, let's see if there's music to this. We're gonna find out. Oh, what? Oh, okay, going to Twitter. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. What the heck, man? Yeah, okay, scores, please. Oh, okay, now they're going to do it. No, they're not. No scores for that. No scores. What the heck, man? They're like, please, scores, please. And nobody's putting together music for them. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I let you down. we got to put together a score. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I'll put together a score. Put together some music for that. I'll get the staff on it, man. I will get the staff on it. All right. We are going to some serious business. Before we move on to that, I promised that I would show this. It's a little sneak peek. A little sneak peek. You guys are going to like it. Remember, and this is deceptive, by the way. I was given some lashings this morning by my buddy Chad. My buddy Chad's like, dude, he screenshotted 0 out of 50,000 words. I have written things, but I use Scrivener. And I didn't know, like, okay, you can update and just what? Put the number in? I think yesterday, I wrote 10,000 words. It's more than 0, man. I'm moving along. I'm working hard, man. Working hard. Got a lot going on. But yes, I have accomplished writing, right? I'm going upstairs, shutting the door, turning on some music, letting it all out. And just having a really good time in trying to write. It's hard because, and keep me in prayer, guys, because it's all the super sad stuff from the book. There are some hopeful things, but I have to make it through the super sad stuff about my daughter, her life and death with cancer. It's a crazy hard thing. And writing about it is really emotional. And I get kind of this perfectionist thing going on. You may not tell because I make so many mistakes and tolerate it on the show. After the show's over, I weep into a pillow. All the mistakes, I'm like, no, the audio again. But I get stuck, especially with writing because you can see it and the idea of just letting it out and typing it out, boom, 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 boom. That's hard for me, It's something you got to basically convince yourself to do and then just do it. You can't just convince yourself. You convince yourself by doing it and getting into that habit of just letting those words out onto the page or onto the screen. And so if you want to follow me, you want to be my buddy, you got to make sure to hit me up there. I'm Paleocrat on NaNoWriMo.org. All right, before we move on, I've got a video for you guys. Let me see here. Is this the one? Main banner? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, yeah, I'm going to switch this thing over. Transition that bad boy. And we are going to raise our glasses high because it's time for some serious stuff, by the way. We are an hour into the program. We are an hour into this. And we're going to go ahead and just mute this down. I'm just going to let you just enjoy the song and to enjoy the video at the exact same time. But this right here, just to let you guys know. Just so that you guys know. Oh, no. Hold on. Am I going to be able to do that? Let me see here. Hold on. Main banner news. Let's see. Okay, yes, there we go. Okay. I was nervous. I was going to play the song and you guys wouldn't even be able to see it. So okay, check this out. Check this out, man. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah. This right here was sent from one of our favorite and most loyal listeners. And it is a video. And both her and her husband, right? They're fanatical. They're freaks and geeks, honorary members of Team Tiny Dancer, right? In fact, they're not honorary. They earned it. They earned it. They are the closest thing to family maybe that we have in our lives. There's very few people that hold this kind of special place in our family's timeline and in our story. They do. And they watch this show. They love it. They wake up every day. They not only wake up every day, the kids watch it as part of a curriculum. It's true, to keep up with what's going on in the news. And you say this is a current events program. We joke around a little bit, we joke around, but look, they're learning a lot, not only about politics, not only about economics, not only about the culture wars, not only about religion, not only about all of that, but they're also learning really important news, breaking news, having to do with animal uprising and ridiculous Guinness records. So I'm proud of these kids. And you'll see there's a boy and a girl, both of them absolutely amazing. So look, everybody, we're going to raise our glasses high. Don't know if you've got coffee, doesn't matter. If you drink tea, doesn't matter. If you drink any Slurm, all of that pop. But if you drink the pop, doesn't matter. Whatever it is. Or if you're eating something, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Raise it to the sky. Raise the burger or the taco to the sky. Raise the eggs, pick up the scrambled eggs and raise it to heaven. Howling at the sun, right? Resolving deep inside, knowing that you shall never give up, that you will keep on smiling, and we will remember that today is the day the Lord has made, that we should rejoice and be glad in it, no matter what, and that it may in fact be today that we shall die. And if that is the case, that we will know that we have done, to rest assured while we are yet alive, that we have given it everything we could in every single moment of every single day to say we are redeeming the time, making our absolute best of all the gifts and talents that God has given us so that we can leave this place better than we found it. Bam. Pray for that today. And to assist you in that, raise this glass high. To assist you in that, we got this. Let's see here. Is it going? Please tell me it's going to play. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. This isn't good. Again, part of it is if you make a mistake, you got to just roll with it. So, okay, hold on a second. We got to be able to play this while at the same time, okay, is it in the, which one is this? Main banner news. Okay, yes. Here we go. There it is. Boom. Look at this little guy. Woo! Let's jam out with him and with her. He's howling away. Boom! Look at you, buddy. Here we go. Look at him howl. Come on, boy. Woo! Give it everything we got. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Ah. Yeah! Woo! Did you see that little guy? Did you see that little dude at the end? Ow! Oh, man, yeah. Dude, what a great guy. Remember, you record your family doing that. You record yourself doing that. You send it to me. We will play that because we're a wolf pack. Deep down inside, we are a wolf pack. We're in this together. I love you guys, man. Good morning, by the way. Good stinking morning. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was playing that earlier. I got to get that off here. Okay. So today's election day. Okay, and you know what? I want to get out of here. I kind of liked that one yesterday. Which one was that? Was it this one? Let's see. Window. Yeah. Transition. I kind of like this one. I kind of like this little circle. It's a little bit confined. It's a little confined. And, you know, I don't know. You can't really see the hands moving all over the place. So we'll switch back and forth between these two. Between the gold standard, this one here. Bump. That's the gold standard. All right, so you can see my hands. When I get mad, stuff like that. Pulling my hair out. My beard. My mustache. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So, okay, we're getting back to the circle, though. So here's the thing. Over here, the Conservative Treehouse by Sundance. Again, if you haven't followed that site yet, you got to make sure to put it in your book, the bookmarks. Put it on your tabs there. And check it every day. It's some of the best analysis online, in my opinion. Absolutely love the Conservative Treehouse. Never doubt nor underestimate the resolve of American patriots, because when it matters most, no words are needed. Each person understands the mission at hand. In every state, county, village, hamlet, city, and street, the MAGA community is independently rallying to the exact same standard. Meet at the old mill. We ride at midnight. A diverse and patriotic MAGA movement has broken through the lines of media and big tech control. Think about that, by the way. Think of the accomplishments. We're going to talk about this and what it means. This is so true. We have broken through that. We are no longer under the thumb of people like Jake Tapper, of Wolf Blitzer. We're no longer under the thumb of Rachel Maddow. No longer under the thumb of Don Lemon or Chris Cuomo or Chris Wallace or Chris Todd. Those are some Chris's that I could do without. In fact, all of those people I could do without. They'd do better in life if they were flipping burgers at McDonald's. Not to dog anyone working at McDonald's. They're like, no, please, dude, don't send Don Lemon here. Don't do that. Chris Cuomo, no. He's got roid rage. Don't send him. He's a lunatic. The American people have overwhelmed the mechanisms of narrative control. We've broken free. Shows like this. Networks like Holy Faith Media. Right? Groups like Meaning of Catholic. Groups like LifeSite News. Groups like Breitbart. We could go on and on and on. Daily Caller. American Greatness. Parler. Look, there are so many ways that we have broken that and said, we're done with this. We've seen what this is about. We know the scheme, and we ain't going to watch your hot trash anymore. Oh, you want to shove this down our throat? We'll skip. We'll skip it. We'll cancel it. We're out of here because we don't need it. We don't need you and your lunacy being shoved down our throats. We're done, man. Not doing it no more. These sickos like it. I've lived for days like this, guys. I have lived for days like this. A combination of old school and modern technology. Remember, it wasn't long ago somebody asked me, like, what do you think people should be doing? And I said, I think that it needs to be a mix, a combination of modern technology and old school technology. And I think that the example that I used was from the Bible in the book of, I mentioned A Little House on the Prairie and the tornado that came in, and Charles is super sad because it wrecked the farm. This storm comes through, hail and everything, wrecks the farm. They're afraid that they're not going to be able to salvage any of the produce. Nothing. That it's all gone. The whole city is hosed. The husbands are devastated. And it was the wives that came up with an idea and said, well, wait a second. We have old tech. We have old means of getting certain things done. We don't have to rely on modern technology. And they did that, and they ended up salvaging a significant amount of produce that was able to keep them alive. I said, we need to do that. And in fact, I said, people should go back and read. Gary North has a book called Tactics of Christian Resistance. It was written at a time where, there was no internet, no publicly available internet, right? There was no, there wasn't social media, of course. There wasn't anything that came from that. So you had to rely on things like fax machines, for example. You had to rely on things like ham radio or local access television. And I said, we need to get to that place. Things like zines, things like press releases, and getting back to the basics of this. And I said, we need to do that. And we have. Tons of people have said, look, we aren't going to just sit there and every day complain every single day, making it our shtick to complain that we're being censored or that, man, and I talk about it. I'm going to talk about the censorship regime at a bigger scale. I know that this show here, look, I say all the things. I say all the words that, not all of them, I say a lot of them, of the words that the algorithm, right, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on YouTube, that the algorithms, as they go through to try to determine where you stack up and try to determine if you should get a more visibility and reach. I say all of those things that make it like, no, we're not going to do that. But I've resolved to speak truthfully. And this is only one mechanism of a greater of a greater protocol, of a greater program. It's why I volunteered. It's why I ran for precinct delegate. By the way, good morning. Yes. Good morning in the comments to Kimberly. It's nice to see you, by the way, Kimberly. This is quite honestly the most remarkable political dynamic since the organic Tea Party erupted in 2009. We won't get into any debate over the word organic. But today's dangerous, guys. Today's dangerous, and we're going to talk about why. You're going to see as the evening goes on. Number one, let's just get something out of the way first. They are not going to call the election this evening. It ain't going to happen. In fact, Twitter and Facebook, they've assured everyone that they will not allow President Trump to do that. Why would they say that, by the way? Why would they say that? Why wouldn't they say President Trump and Joe Biden? Why is the narrative they're not going to allow President Trump to declare early victory? Why are they saying that? I think, for one, I think that it's because there's actually positive news for Donald Trump. I think not just positive, I'm quite happy about it. I'm quite happy. I think that it's almost impossible to look at data and take it seriously. For one, people are like, but the polls say. And I'm like, dude, were you born yesterday? Weirdos? Were you guys seriously born? Are you blind? Did you not live through 2016? Didn't you live through that? How many polls back then were saying, oh, Hillary's going to smoke them? Dude, what was the New York Times? Wasn't it like 99% or 90% possibility? Joe Biden is in that same world of being at 70-something, which means Trump's doing even better. And Trump won last time. But those polls were wrong. Those polls were wrong the whole time. And for the same reasons that a lot of them were this time. For the same reasons. But yet people, they see it and go, oh, look, recent poll says, who cares? And number one, popular polls, what is that even about anyway? These people don't even know. It's just like fuel for ignoramuses. It says, hey, look, this poll says that Donald Trump has this percentage of the population supporting him and this one not. And you go, that's irrelevant. Hillary Clinton won the majority vote. Who cares? We don't operate that way. For good reason, by the way. Thank God for the Electoral College. Thank God for the Electoral College. But the thing is, we have a lot of things coming at us, and I'm going to show you, in fact. And I hope I don't get in trouble for this. I'm going to show some video, and I'll promote the people. I'll give credit where it is, and we'll do commentary. I don't want to get in trouble for using this video, because we support Millie Weaver, by the way. I would love to actually get to meet and speak with her. There are disagreements, sure, but I definitely support the investigative work that she does. There may be just more day remaining until the facade of civil society crumbles in the land of the free. They've already pumped the country full of irresponsible hysteria, devastated the economy, destroyed millions of lives, gave thugs the green light to rape and pillage cities. And then when people predictably and understandably become enraged in response at these devious and planned measures, those individuals are the ones who every powerful figure and entity will come out and condemn. Yes. It's exactly what goes on. It's why, it's why we can watch all summer long as coordinated efforts being done by a mix. And I don't want to say, well, every single member of BLM is in this group of people, but every single night you could watch, you could turn on TV. Well, let me take that back. TV, no. You could hop on certain social media platforms, particularly ones like, oh my gosh, dude, it's going to kill me here. Hold on. Telegram. You could go on to Telegram. You could go there and you could see video after video after video after video of violence being done against Americans in cities all across the country. And people getting arrested, tons and tons and tons. We've seen their mugshots. But then they get let go. They get let go by these DAs who coincidentally, when they were running We're taking in gobs and gobs of money from individuals like George Soros. Fact. It's not up for debate anymore. That is a fact. And to sit there, like, I won't even, if someone goes, oh, it's not true, say, no, it is true, and you know it. And if you don't know it, get out of here. Get out of here. You're not worth my time debating. If you want to talk and you want to learn, if you want to learn something, that's fine. If you want to be an ignoramus who's going to show up and try to do the fisticuffs with somebody who actually spends all their time studying this crap, you can go check out, man. Hit the road, Jack. And Jacqueline and Karen, hit the road. Which is why you can see all that destruction. And what happens, by the way? What happens? Cities get burned, windows get smashed, cars get lit on fire, flipped over, roads get entirely stopped, people get pulled out of their cars, individuals have been shot, individuals have been beat bloody on the streets, completely knocked out, and then what ends up happening? White supremacy is the big problem in America. What? No! It's over, man. It is over, son. It's over. And the thing is, the fact that that's the case, you know what that is the definition of? Systemic oppression. What's his name's right? Who's writing this? Shane Trejo. It's another guy I'd love to meet. Big league politics. This is the definition of systemic oppression. And it's not happening to minorities. It's happening to the majority that has been marked for replacement by the ruling class. Deplorables, by the way. Irredeemables, by the way. Flyover country, by the way. And it's not just, I'm glad that he says ruling class, and I'm assuming that he would include in there even these mega corporations like the NFL and the NBA. You know, you got people like Troy Aikman. What a goon. What a goon. You got people who run these massive corporations who basically treat what they do now as a big public relations scheme at propaganda. The way that they go after traditional people who believe in traditional values, what made America great, the very things that are on the line right now, and the reasons that you need to go out and you need to vote. An entire billion-dollar industry has been constructed to allow racism to pass as scholarship. Yeah, critical theory? Critical theory? I'll have a buddy on. We're gonna talk about that. It'll be a cordial disagreement. I mean, we're friends. He's like a brother from another mother, dude. I really care about him a lot. And we disagree over the issue of critical race theory, critical theory in general. We're going to talk about that. But I agree with this. To allow racism to pass as scholarship that venerates fiction over the past simply because it can be used to demonize white people. That is the basis of white fragility, the 1619 Project, critical race theory, and many other establishment-backed blood libels. This is what has captured the institutions while decent Americans were sleeping. You know what? I believe that decent Americans need more sleep, and that's why I don't sleep as much. Because I'm willing to go into the darkness. I'm willing to go to these places and to study these things, to go to the fringes and to study that, to go into the belly of the beast and to come out with that information to tell you what I have seen. And like Joshua to say, yes, there are giants in there, we can take them. God is on our side. God is on our side. Do not be afraid of the giants. What you're going to see, and you may even be seeing this at your polling place. In fact, if you're watching this right now, make sure that you add me on Facebook. And if you have weird things or good things, doesn't matter, happy, fun, share that on my wall. Okay, I have a Facebook page, which I probably should be promoting more, But I just, Facebook, I really do mainly use it for personal stuff. And, my show is published there every day on my own wall, Jeremiah.Bannister. You got to do it. In fact, let me switch over right now so that way you can see the spelling of my name. But this color revolution is going to begin. In fact, the Trump administration released a statement accusing the Democrats of already cutting Election Day ads of a, quote, red mirage in order to excuse Joe Biden's massive loss on Tuesday and to foment chaos. If you don't believe the chaos is coming, this is what I said I was going to show you. Leaked Zoom calls. Federal workers conspiring to shut down White House in contested election. Think about this, by the way. You're going to hear something that, this is amazing. By the way, this is amazing because you have individuals, right, who, by the way, are down with this kind of stuff. They're down with Antifa. They're down with BLM. They're crazy lunatic anarchists who don't like Trump. They don't like Biden. They don't like any of them, man. This is actually something we should agree on. But sadly, the left doesn't. And even worse, more dangerous, in fact, is that the deep state doesn't. Because you see the situation where a bunch of these guys who the media has described as right-wing militia. That's BS, by the way. We've exposed that. BS, by the way. And to sit there and say, yeah, if you want to call an anarchist who wants to go after Republicans and Democrats and doesn't believe in the state at all, if you want to call that person right-wing, weirdos, man. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. But the thing is, those dudes, they get arrested. Right? If they were, in fact, plotting that, if they were, and more information will come out to find out, were they doing that? Was it a citizen's arrest that they were trying to do? What's the debate going to be over that? But what you're going to see and hear in a moment, these people, they won't be arrested. They won't be arrested. They are flat out plotting a coup. They even describe it as a coup. They tell people that if you call it anything other than a coup, that's not true. They talk about using weapons. They talk about violence and death. They talk about shutting off entryways in and out of the White House, shutting it down, going into governmental buildings, shutting it down. They've planned it. Massive amounts of money, massive amounts of people. Bethany in the comments says, we the people are the militia. Stand strong, patriots. Yes, totally. Stand strong because you're going to need it, because people think, and I don't believe that you listening, I don't believe that you are in this group, but there are a lot of people who think that tonight's going to happen. And even if the victor is not determined tonight, we'll have a good idea. And then in the next couple days or the next couple weeks, we're going to find out. And that it's just going to be peaceful. They're wrong. They're wrong. This is over at WorldNet Daily, WorldNet Daily staff. Dozens of leaked internal documents and Zoom call video footage were made public Sunday describing plans by progressive activists and federal workers to disrupt and destabilize the outcome of Tuesday's presidential election, including plans to shut down the White House. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. The information was leaked by a disaffected insider of the Sunrise Movement. By the way, if you've been paying attention on this show, we talk about the Sunrise Movement. I said it's a terrorist organization. And it's after our kids. They target teens, by the way. They target teens and college students. It's part of a loose but extremely coordinated network of left-leaning activists mobilizing across the U.S. in an effort to foment chaos in the wake of a potential Trump victory or a contested election. And by the way, Sunrise, a little more detail about that, and there's a link to that, I think, in the comments here, or in the article. Sunrise is an umbrella movement comprised of 400 hubs and hundreds of affinity groups, including 350.org and Extinction Rebellion. In fact, I was going to say, is a key player, you're going to see this person, Lisa Fithian, a longtime organizer and trainer, including stints with Occupy Wall Street and various unions. In the video describing tools and tactics to shut down the nation's capital, she states, is there going to be a war? Are people going to get killed? Like, is that on anybody else's mind? I'm guessing it is. We're going to see potential fighting all over the country or in some hot spots. Whoever's got the guns can win. Let's take over the buildings. We're going to be in a crisis, but we want it to be one that we are creating. Dude, how are these people not arrested right now? What's the explanation for this? Oh, you're coordinating with that? Oh, you're talking about taking over buildings? Oh, if these guys are getting arrested, by the way, and hey, if they're getting arrested for the Whitmer ordeal, these Boogaloo boys, these anarchist libertarian types, if they're getting arrested, this right here, no doubt about it, the level of coordination and money with this group, bet you $1 bazillion, it dwarfs what those guys were involved with. And they're doing actions at the polls and the counting centers. Now, they've warned some people, it depends on where you are. But I've already seen it with North Carolina. North Carolina, where they went to the polls and they were blocking people from going in. Leftist protesters. The police had to show up, pepper spraying people to get people to go out of the way so the individuals could go and vote. If you don't think that's coordinated, you're a loon tune. Whoever's got the guns wins. And it's okay, yeah. And you got this cat right here. This guy's a terrorist. He's another one of those terrorist guys. Let's see here.
Our undercover inside the Sunrise Movement was able to
This is Millie
obtain
Weaver.
exclusive video footage inside Zoom chats where Shutdown DC, BLM, and other leftist organizations are coordinating a multi-level coup action exercise, Democrat Party members, as well as federal employees and intelligence contractors.
So think about this. Members of the Democratic Party, leaders within the Democratic Party, military contractors, and people who are involved in the state. Okay, these are bureaucrats. These are people, and they talk about what they're doing. This is all leaked, by the way. Look at this. Oh, and let's see. Oh, it looks like there's a lot of whiteness happening here. Very, very. They're not very self-reflective. They're not very self-reflective.
I'm a management and programs analyst.
I work in the national security community. I spent 3.5 years as a contractor at DHS HQ.
Think about this. This is not chump stuff. These are people who've worked deeply in our state infrastructure. They know how it works, and they're going to explain it.
If you read the mainstream press, like, they all have Signal accounts. Text them, leak everything you can. The journalists I've dealt with have been super ethical in ways to shield me, to be the source of the leaks.
Groups on the outside being able to show solidarity with federal workers.
Making sure that we're naming what has happened.
So you got all these federal workers, you're showing solidarity, you're leaking like crazy. By the way, leaking, illegal, a crime. Why is he not arrested? Why is he? Look, if we were a fascist government, people should be arrested in a republic, right? For doing stuff like this. This is warranting a warrant, okay? You would need to have people being arrested like crazy, like homeboy down there. Comrade Loke or whatever his name is. Loke is a joke. Oh, Loke is woke as a joke. Yeah, that guy's got to go. Lock him up. Lock these people up. Their faces are right there. You got their mugshots already. Don't even worry about it. Including homeboy down there at the bottom. But the thing is, that should be true in a republic. It would especially be true in a fascist administration. If Trump was a fascist, dude, this would be the least tolerated crap on the planet. They would go in like with great haste, wham, wham, And so to sit there and say, man, there's actually a lot of reserve about this, and you think that they don't know? Give me a break, bro.
Is a coup.
Totally agreed in the shutdown DC conversations that I've been having, and that's not on the federal side. We also are often saying, like, call it a coup.
They plan to shut down Washington, D.C. and other major U.S. cities starting November 4th until Inauguration Day.
So this is the thing. You've got stuff going on, not just tonight, but you have stuff that's even going to begin tomorrow all the way through the election. So you think it's over? You're wrong.
Do we have any plans for how to respond if there's a coup?
Come to BLM Plaza anytime after.
Do we have any plans if there's a coup? And he's like, he doesn't go, you're a loon tune. Why is this conversation happening here? He's like, yeah, we actually meet over here, blah, 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 blah. Why?
4 p.m. on election night. On the 5th, we're going to shut down the White House.
Matt, the White.
Oh, you're going to shut down the White House. Oh, that sounds like a, I don't know, very unpatriotic plan. Sounds like it might involve some things that are illegal. Let's find out.
Yes, and know every access point so we knew we could blockade it.
On the 6th, we're going to shut down larger parts of Washington, D.C.
We've been working on a target map and a framework for scenario. So where are all the police stations?
Look, where are all the police stations? Think about this, guys. She's like, where? And by the way, that's the lady. That's the freakazoid. That lady right there she's a dangerous person. Super, super dangerous. In fact, she would wear that with honor. She'd say, yes, I'm very dangerous. You should be very afraid. The fact that she's walking free is stunning. It's a testament to how tolerant our freedoms and liberties, our constitutionally assured freedoms and liberties actually are, and how wrong, in fact, these people are about the nature of our republic. You should tell them to shove it. And so long as we tolerate it, say, well, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how it's being tolerated. Maybe we should rethink that, by the way. Maybe we should rethink that.
Where are all the key government buildings? Who are the Trump boosters?
Members of Congress that are coming in, we're going to meet them at the airports or at Union Station and send them back to where they came from.
Oh, you're going to send people back to where they came from. You sound like a real crazy racist, by the way. Remember, these are the same people. Oh, you told Ilhan Omar she should go back to where she came from. Ah, that's so racist. I mean, it's like, dude, again, this is that double speak crap. This is 1984. Straight up, son. Straight up, son.
Until we deal with the situation that we're in.
We are going to be in a crisis, but we want it to be one that we are creating. Whoever's got the guns can win. Let's take over the buildings.
Listen to that. Whoever's got the guns wins. Let's take over the buildings. Oh, that's neat. Look at that. I stopped it in an interesting time. Look at that. To take over important government buildings, to attempt to win over members of the police, the police and army, to the side of the people, to protect our brothers and sisters in revolution. This is preparation for mass violence, by the way.
If there are people that are willing to do that, we should support them. Get ready to shut your city down on the 4th or the 5th.
Regardless of who wins.
Yeah, regardless of who wins. Regardless of who wins. I'm wondering, is this the second video that she did? Because there's one more. I'm sorry to show so much of it.
I'm a management and programs.
No.
Trump boosters.
Members of Congress
that are willing to do that, we should support them.
Okay, right here.
But we want it to be one that we are creating.
Listen.
Whoever's got the guns can win. Let's take over the buildings. If there are people that are willing to do that, we should support them. Get ready to shut your city down on the 4th or the 5th.
Regardless of who wins, footage in multi-level
world looks like,
as well as federal
and look at who's in there on that.
Utilizing insider
look
help
at this.
from Democrat Party members.
That's what an
Oh, and looky there. Looky there. Look at the kind of insider help they're getting. Oh, not looking good. Looking a little treacherous, by the way. You know, she would be much hotter if she wasn't such a traitor, if she wasn't such a crazy lunatic Marxist. She's ugly even in those $14,000 suits because her heart is nasty. Her heart is gross.
Abolitionist world looks like.
Oh.
As well as federal employees and intelligence contractors.
let's talk about what actions and decisions are in your immediate sphere of influence as somebody who works in the government.
I think making sure that we're naming what is happening as a coup in different language and communications with coworkers will be really important.
Oh, communications with coworkers in the government. Like I said, people can say, man, Jeremiah, you're being a little bit sensationalistic. You're just trying to scare people. No, I am trying to show people, number one, we have reasons that even when things are scary, that we should not be afraid. We do not have a spirit of fear, okay? We will not be consumed by this because we never give up, because we keep on smiling, and because we remember that death awaits all of us. And death may, in fact, be involved with a bunch of these insane cuckoo bird crazy pant people trying to do their coup with guns and weapons. And people can say, they can bash this all day long and say, well, you know, are these people serious? Yes, dude. These people, by the way, that lady with the Occupy movement, that lady alone, and the people who are involved who talk, and I think it's the lady down here, Amy, she talks about, in another video, she talks about what people in the bureaucracy are able to do, and not just what they're able to do, but what in fact they have been doing. What they've been doing, slowing stuff down, writing fake reports, writing fake mandates, right? Saying, look, this isn't even what I was told. And then it has to go through the whole process. Really? Somebody complains. Then it goes to a higher. Oh, yeah, I don't know. That must have been what I misunderstood you. And it's really hard to get rid of these people. They know how to clog the system. This is the deep state. They want to put a clog in that bottom of the swamp and say, we don't want to go out. We like control. We weren't. Did you vote, by the way, for any of these people? Did you? Did you vote for a single one of these people? Because at the end of the day, they want to destroy this country. When you say revolution, what are you talking about? We're talking a violent revolution. We're talking a revolution that involves burning buildings, burning cars, going to individuals' homes, even in the suburbs with lights late at night, beating on noises like drums and pans and pots to sit there and wake everybody up to learn to kick in doors, which is what the Sunrise Movement did. They were learning how to kick in doors, to go to the homes of senators and congressmen and congresswomen, to threaten them, to intimidate them, to surround people while they're eating out, and to get them in a corner just so that they can cower in fear and raise their fist as a symbol to say, I support your Marxist revolution. Did you vote for them? I sure as heck didn't. Vote today, by the way. Vote, vote, vote today. Make sure that these people and this plan get put down. National Guard troops are arriving in multiple U.S. cities ahead of election night chaos. It's happening in Massachusetts. It's happening in, of course, Portland metro area. Again. In Oregon. In Texas, Alabama, Arizona. Yeah, Pennsylvania National Guard was deployed to the Philadelphia metro area recently. They're sticking around. According to NBC sources, at the White House beginning tomorrow, a non-scalable fence will be erected around the complex with 250 Guard troops on standby. Why would they put a non-scalable? Because they know what's going on with this. They know what's going on with this. Guard troops have been spotted in several cities preparing for Tuesday night. You can see video after video after video of these people. This is over at zerohedge.com, by the way. If you want to see the video footage and photo footage of the National Guard being deployed all over the country in preparation. Why? Do you think, oh, by the way, do you think it's a whole bunch of Proud Boys doing that? Oh, you think they're doing that because the Proud Boys? You think they're doing that because of white supremacists? Do you think they're doing that because the KKK, all the monsters, all the deplorables, all the irredeemables? Do you think irredeemables? Do you think that that's why they're there? Let me know. Let me know. James says, Jeremiah, I'm heading to my voting location and driving around my 10 Republican friends to vote. blacks for Trump. Let's go. Yeah. Come on, son. Ha ha ha. Dude, you are the man. You are the man. By the way, dude, it is an honor to be getting to know you more and that you come back, right? That you love this show. You're committed to checking it out. You comment. You know, you're really cool, dude. I'd love to meet you one day. Oh, you said they probably seen the movie White House Down and think they could coordinate the same thing. It's true, man. It's true. But the thing is, these people, we're seeing what has been known actually for a long time. There was reports a while back talking about these resistance, the resistance in Washington, D.C., where people were meeting up for training sessions, and they were fellow bureaucrats. They were deep staters who were working together, being trained on how to stop this administration and to do everything within their power, maybe even stuff that was illegal, maybe even stuff that could get them fired. They don't care because they've got that Trump derangement syndrome on the brain. They haven't recuperated all that Play-Doh rolling and bubble blowing crap that they do to try to get their emotions under control. They can't do it because they're godless heathens. They're godless heathens who've given up on an idea of truth. They're statist religionists, scientistic to the core. Zach writes this: before bullets attack people, they do dehumanize them first because it's easier to get support for attacking something that isn't human. Dude, yes, I could. That's ridiculously powerful, Zach. It's true. It's true. And who have they dehumanized? Who are you allowed to bash day in and day out, day in and day out? And when you do it, you say that there's no such thing as anybody bashing those people. You tell me. You tell me. The media and celebrities dehumanize Trump and Trump supporters. Do totally 100%. CF asked, woman said she worked for the NSA. I think it was DHS. Don't know. I don't know if she said NSA. This is where it gets even more dangerous. And think of these as a composite, right? Think of these as something that says, you know, what are we looking at? Because it's easy to look over in one direction or to look over in another or to emphasize one thing or emphasize another. What I'm trying to do is to present to you a bigger story that says, this is what you are seeing. This is who happens to be involved. This is what they're planning to do to make it really terrible. And this is their goal. Here's one thing. Ian Chung says, Twitch has banned all protest, riot streams and coverage. The revolution will not be live streamed. Think about that. It's going to be hard for you to be able to see the destruction that is going to be going on. And what they want to do is they want to funnel you in so that you will only see the footage as it is framed by the mainstream media. Remember George Floyd? It's easy to forget. He has, he's been gone for a minute. In the modern mind, a couple months is like forever. But the thing is, if you remember, they had highly selected, edited videos, highly edited videos that were used that only showed little blips, little hot takes. Like, hey, man, I'm a good guy. And I don't want to go in the car, man. I'll sit on the ground. To I can't breathe. To help him, he can't breathe. And you miss out on everything else involved in that. Everything. And then even when that was released, which was devastating to the narrative, by the way, completely devastating to that narrative, especially what made it really rough is that other people in the car, other people with him, that they did not resist, that they were against the wall. Those people nothing happened to them. But for some reason, this guy, obviously out of his mind on drugs. I mean, it's not even a question. It's not even a question. Dropping little baggies out of his back pocket, getting busted with different, what, was it a crack pipe in his pocket? Somebody that, pill in his mouth, sitting there. He was obviously jacked up, and he was resisting like crazy. He wasn't making any sense. And for a long time, you can see, in fact, kind of a steel disposition in police that I mean, they could have just dropped him like it was hot. They could have said, just tase his butt. Blam. They could have just tased him out and dropped him in. You know what? I think if they would have tased him, he'd be dead. I think his heart would have given out right there. You're on those kind of drugs, that many, with a life that's obviously really bad. And I'm not dogging him in a way that's not true. Even the people who are with him say it, but they don't want you to see it. They want to be able to funnel you to where they're going to be able to frame it and select clips in such a way that it shows you what maybe I should do this. If you want to follow some of this, maybe I can do tonight, because today is an all-day thing. I mean, I'm going to be busy all day long. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go vote in person, me and my wife. And so, maybe throughout the day, I don't want to do Twitter, man. I technically don't want to do Facebook, but I know there's a lot of people who watch this on Facebook. Keep an eye. Go to paleocratdiaries.com. In fact, do it right now. Open up a tab. Open up a separate tab or get out a pen and a piece of paper and write it down. Paleocratdiaries.com. In fact, I'll put it up right now. Let's go ahead and get this thing up. Let's see here. Window capture. There we go. So write that down. Well, does it say it on there? Hold on. We'll do this one. So go to paleocratdiaries.com. I will try to put down some links to places. In fact, the one place that I know for sure that I'm going to have a ridiculous number of videos that I can share that document the craziness, not just today, but for the remainder of the week, would be at Telegram. And you can find that. Now, I use that to document as a kind of a pool of pretty fringy stuff. And so when I go to the margins and I'm trying to understand competing narratives, and you got to go down some, rabbit holes sometimes to get there. You got to go down some crazy rabbit holes to get there. Like, I'm going to talk sometime this week about the people that came out for, oh my gosh, man, which one was it? One of the individuals recently, right, who in the long stream of people who are being protested, and there's protests and riots over their lives, that when they drummed up people and brought people out to talk about those individuals, it may have actually been, was it George Floyd? It may have been but the documentary is amazing because it shows all these clips of people who came out and said, well, yeah, I'm this guy's brother, or I'm this or I'm that, and it has the Attorney Crump standing next to that individual. And guess what? There's no record of this person. There's nothing else online. Nowhere you go. And there's evidence, even with kids and even with adults, that they're being coached. You can see Crump's mouth where he whispers something. And next thing you know, it cues the person and they begin talking. You look them up, the individual, and you find out, wow, it's kind of weird. It's almost like they've never existed. Where are they? Is there proof that this person's even real? And if you don't believe that stuff happens, you need to go back. You need to go back and you need to find out what happened with the Trayvon Martin court case. Look up his girlfriend. Look up his girlfriend. Oh, I'm sorry. The real one. The one that had to flee. Not the one that the media drummed up that was obviously the worst witness in the world because she didn't know anything about it and she didn't believe it. And we have audio recordings now that prove it. But they shoved it down your throat. Have those people apologized? Have they shared it? Did it ever go viral? Go to Telegram, paleocratdiaries.com. I'll put the link at paleocratdiaries.com. No, at Telegram, it's just Paleocrat Diaries. Okay? Just Paleocrat Diaries. But you can we'll put that at paleocratdiaries.com. We'll also put it in the about section and description, I think, of these videos here. I got a whole bunch of these things here. I got to decide what I'm going to do. Let's see here. No, not doing that. Not doing that. Nope. See, a lot of this, man, we can go ahead and just store up for another time. No, definitely not that. Not that. Not playing this game. Okay? The reason why all of this is important, and I said we're doing a composite. We're coming up toward the end, guys. The reason why I said it's a composite is because it's not just these fringy activist people. It's not just the dirty, greasy lady who was with Occupy and other groups. It's not just them. It's not just that skinny, curious-looking fella that goes by they, them in that Zoom chat. It's not just them. It's not just Black Lives Matter. It's not just the media. It's also, and it's not just, as we saw, politicians. It's also this. This is the same lady, by the way, that was recently talking about Dresden and doing to Trump people what people had to do to certain areas of Germany, certain areas of the world. Dr. Brandy X. Lee. You'll always know her based on those googly eyes that she's got. She's got the feminista eyes, right? The feminist all over people. And then she's got that ugly mullet haircut. It's easy to know who she is. And she's the one who says, really crazy crap like this. Brandy X. Lee, an outspoken critic of Trump, tweeted her shocking comparison just one day before the election. What was it? This is over at the Federalist. By Jordan Davidson. Psychiatrist and CNN guest praises Hitler in an attempt to dunk on Trump. Dunk on Trump. They will do anything. They'll do anything. They don't care. The levels of depravity, the depth of their depravity doesn't matter. Yeah. Donald Trump, quote, Donald Trump is not an Adolf Hitler. At least Hitler improved the daily life of his followers, had discipline, and required more of himself to gain the respect of his followers. She wrote, even with the same pathology, there are varying degrees of competence. Now, here's the thing. There's part of me that's okay with the idea of giving praise where it's due. You know, somebody can watch, you know, there's a documentary about Hitler. In fact, I've watched a number of them. I've actually read Mein Kampf. I've read it. You know, as I said, I go to the fringes. I read all this stuff so that I have an informed understanding of what the heck I'm talking about. And so that you don't have to, by the way. You can spend your time reading through books that aren't nearly as crazy. But that you can say something positive about the regime or positive about the man while not going down the road of full-blown propaganda that supports him. And I've seen a documentary that does that. They make a bunch of valid points, but then all of a sudden, about halfway through, they're like valorizing everything. Like, it's and I'm like, you know, there were some serious problems, by the way. Some itsy-weetsy ones. There were some serious problems. You know, some of them we can even blame at the feet of his doctor. His doctor, you know, was pumping him full of crazy medicine. Crazy drugs, dude. Including little boy hormones and crap. Oh, man. You know, but the thing is, people can take it on the opposite side. And they can say, you know, you have people that valorize that. And you have people that just use it as a foil. And that just simply, you know, use it to go after people. And to say that Trump hasn't made better the daily life of his followers, dude, that person is literally nuts to say that. She also claimed that the pandemic death toll in the U.S. is higher than Hitler's at the same period. Dang. Well, she took it down. She took it down since so many people, you know, were upset. And it was not provoking thought, but the opposite. It provoked some thought here. I still say that you're a crazy loon tune. I say that you're a wacko bird. Yeah. Poo-poo. Poo-poo cuckoo is what you are. You're poo-poo crazy. Because we could look and say, and I'm not even going to spend time on it, under Trump, Americans have seen their best wage growth in 40 years. You don't believe me? Go there. The Federalist. This is by Rob Sin. He breaks it down. Look at this. He breaks it down talking about each demographic. Because Maganomics applies to everybody. Because Donald Trump is a red, yellow, black, and white, parenthetical brown, right? Because it wasn't part of the song. Red, yellow, black, and white. Everyone is precious in his sight. And Maganomics will make things right. The economy, jobs, income, the amount people made. Leftists knew that it was bad. In fact, Bill Maher was right. Bill Maher said, look, barring some kind of recession, barring something, if the economy keeps rolling along like this, historical record-breaking numbers for everybody, for everyone. There was no demographic that was left out. None. If something doesn't stop that, the Democrats are toast. In comes COVID. In comes COVID. And now what do? They blame Trump for COVID. They can't bring themselves. They even get mad when he says Kung Flu. We'll save that one for tomorrow. Let me see here. I got a couple more. Let's see. The deep state to make it real. Policing the real. Let's see, man. I just got a couple things here. No. Oh, no. Okay, no. No. Yeah, because we got days of election coverage ahead. I mean, and I'm not going to spend every single day doing this, but the election's not over today. So I'll talk about two more things, and we're going to memes, and I'll make these ones quick. This is over at elizabethjohnston.org. Kanye West condemns Planned Parenthood, says it was founded to kill the black race and to create population control. This is older. We actually talked about this already. But I wanted to bring this up to say, I know people that talk about reasons why they don't want to vote for Trump. And they talk about individuals, black people, who are shot down in the streets. They don't know the numbers, by the way. They don't know how many that equals. They don't have a statistic that breaks it down like we do. Where is that statistic we had? Let's see here. Because I had it. I have it, in fact. There we go. Number of people shot to death by the police in the United States from 2017 to 2020. Oh, okay, hold on. That's good. You couldn't see what I'm seeing. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know how many stories I was talking about that way. I apologize. Ugh. Sorry about that. And yeah, I'm glad I didn't just go through a bunch of stuff. Okay, so number of people shot to death by the police in the United States from 2017 to 2020. And thank you, by the way, to my staff. You guys keep me on board. You keep me up to date with this. Says right here, white people. Let's just go to 2020. 287. The year before, 370. The year before, 399. The year before, 457. Black, 223, 209, 235, 142. Now, when you talk about unarmed, you're talking like barely in the teens. You're talking barely in the teens. But these people don't think this way. They treat it as if any time someone who's a person of color walks outside their home, they're putting their lives on the line because there are bloodthirsty cops that want nothing more than to just shoot down a black person. But even at the wildest numbers, let's say that number, by the way, let's say that the highest number, and what was it? What was the one that we had here? 235. Now, that's the total of people shot to death by police. Okay, so that includes armed people, dangerous armed individuals who get shot. 235 at the high point. That's the highest number since Trump has been in office, right? And you look at that, and then you go, okay, so it's kind of weird because if we go down and think about it, Kanye says this, the last figure I saw, there were 210,000 deaths due to COVID in America. And everywhere you go, you see someone with a mask on. with abortion culture, there are 1,000 black children aborted every day. We're in a genocide. So more black children have died since February than people have died of COVID. Yet everyone wears a mask. It's a matter of where are we turning a blind eye to. The media can control, a lot of times it has control over what we care about. And that's especially true of all of those people, especially people that are like the evangelifish type, right? That have fallen prey to the wiles of secret sensitivity and modernism, but they still identify with Jesus. But they're like, you know, they're doing the sermons about reparations and sermons about critical theory, not realizing just how satanic and apostate that is. But those people, they'll get online and they'll do their virtue signals. They'll do it and they'll say, I really care. Black people are getting shot day in and day out, all over the place. Every day, people are afraid. Is my little guy going to be the next one? I guess that question could be asked in response and go, it's kind of weird because you would, and they use that as reason to not support President Trump, which is ignorant, by the way, of how that has happened in the past. Did you see the trend downward? Did you not see? Yet they want to blame Trump. And so they say, well, I'm going to vote for Biden this time. And you go, so you're going to vote for somebody who's unabashed in their support, and as VP's even crazier about this, in their support of black children being aborted at a rate that blows out of the water the annual statistics for even the all-inclusive, violent, and small number of non-violent black people being shot dead by the police. It's sick. It shows the lack of, again, the lack of self-awareness. It shows the lack of knowledge regarding what is going on. And we're going to perish because of this. We're going to perish because of this. Because we are prone now to see in social media and to see all this stuff to say, man, I don't want to be left out. This is trending. I bet it's good. What an ignorant way of looking at the world. You're going to be tossed to and fro by every whim and fancy of a culture that hates you. They have no stable core anymore. They have no connection with the past other than to simply remind the past always how much they hate it and to dance on the graves of the democracy of the dead. They hate it. And they hate you. You have to vote. It's not inconsequential. It's not. We aren't looking at a uniparty. There's a dramatic and significant difference between the philosophy and worldview of President Donald J. Trump and the uniparty, which has at the moment its current symbolic expression is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. But they will focus, laser focus on adults that are getting shot. And that's not even saying, let's even just suppose that all of those numbers, right? The 140 something, the highest number, what was the highest one? Again, what was the highest one? What was the highest one? 235. Let's presume that all 235, let's presume that each and every one of those was the most malicious thing in the world. That is nothing in comparison. Nothing. And that's not to diminish, but just statistical alone to say, look, you know, without meaning to sound too crass, at least those adults lived their lives. Was it cut short? Yes. Would that be an injustice? Absolutely 100%. If that's an injustice, this right here, if that's murder, this right here, kids. He said Plan B and Planned Parenthood were planned by eugenicists that set out and said out loud, I'm doing this to kill the black race, to create population control. That's the amazing thing. How many people on the fence of this say, I simply can't support Donald Trump because he hasn't done enough. Because, you know, things were done while he was president by people who are not him, that I don't like or disagree with, and I wish he would have handled it better. And you go, yeah, you know what he is handling better? The genocide of black children. Doing his best to stop that at unprecedented levels. People who complain, these are the never good enoughters, right? These are the perfectionists that sit there and say, you just aren't perfect enough. So I'm gonna jump ship. I don't like the way you tweet. I don't like the way that you know, you brag. I don't like the way that you campaign. I wish that you would surround yourself with different people. I got you. I hear you loud and clear. I wish that they weren't committing genocide against black kids. Gotcha. Gotcha. That is a Trump card. Now, you might be down with that. You know, you got to sit there and say, people say, well, maybe Joe Biden will be able to you know, do, what's he going to do? Is he going to put in a bunch of judges that oppose it? I've interviewed the Democrats for Life of America. I can sympathize with what they want, but look at where it's gone. The people like Jack Webb, gone. The people who support pro-life measures in the Democratic Party, gone. They are basically, at this point, they're people who want to put out gay flags in front of their house because they want to celebrate God's promise in the flood. I'm sorry to put it that way. I wish it wasn't the case, but everyone driving by your house thinks you're gay. They think you like it with dudes. Dudes and dudes. Chicks and chicks. Barbara in the comments said, I read a statistic that stated that more black babies were aborted than were born in New York City. The statistics are through the roof. The statistics are through the roof. And it's why they go to these places that are very poor. They go to places that are very poor and they promote it and say, look, you got pregnant. You don't want to take responsibility. You don't believe that you can deal with this. Come on in. We'll cut that little baby into pieces. Suck it out with a vacuum. And if you don't like how I just described that, then you know what? Maybe you should reconsider your willingness to vote for people who protect that. Why aren't you sending your kids on a field trip to the old abortion clinic, to the old abortuary? Why don't you do that? Why don't you let them see what really goes on, you sicko? You know, we have how many shows, how many YouTube videos do you have where they're just showing it all day long? They not abortion. But, oh, I got to take out my appendix. Oh, you know, I got to have surgery on my heart, dental surgery. You can see all of it. And I'm not saying it would be good. I'm not saying that this would be something we should do. I'm saying it says something profound that you don't. It says something profound that when I have had videos that show what happens with this, what happens with abortion, that YouTube takes it down under the idea that you can't show a dead person. All the while, that same organization doesn't believe that it's a dead person. Lastly, you know, we need to realize this. We need to realize this, that the future that we have is not just dangerous for babies and not just dangerous for our children with the kind of insane demoniac education that they're getting now. It's not just dangerous for preteens and teens who are getting involved with mass media and they're you know, watching all of the different videos and checking out different websites. It's not just dangerous anymore for adults who struggled when they get online and they're constantly surrounded by the sexualization of our culture and what kind of desires that helps to promote within people. Weak people, by the way. And I'm not judging them saying they are weak. I'm saying people are. It's why we need Jesus Christ. The Biden campaign is taking some heat after a vice presidential candidate, Kamala Harris, unabashedly promoted the communist principle of equality of outcome in a campaign ad rather than the American ideal of equality and opportunity. It's a problem, and you can see the video. I won't even show it. Well, yeah. Let's show this thing. This is over at last. This is the last article. Deborah Hine over at American Greatness. It's a great site, by the way. I check it every day. Here's Kamala. Let's hear what she says.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests, oh, everyone should get the same amount. The problem with that, not everybody's starting out from the same place. So if we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we could get the same amount, but you're still gonna be that far back behind me. It's about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
Do you hear that? The underlying things. And we're in danger for all of this. And think of how this would play itself out in a political economy. Think of how that concept, equitable treatment, means we all end up at the same place. She is either like mind-bogglingly ignorant, or she is dreadfully dangerous. In fact, well, let me put it this way. Either way, she's dreadfully dangerous. Either way. If you're ignorant and you're promoting this, or if you know better and you're promoting this, either way, I'd almost wish, in some ways, I almost wish that she knew better. And in fact, I believe she does. I'd rather have an enemy that I know is an enemy than someone who fakes that they're a friend. And in that regard, the Democrats fake to be our friends. This is dangerous because with each and every one of these scenarios, that's the end here. With each and every one of the scenarios that we talked about, with each and every angle that this election has gone, with each and every angle and dynamic and narrative that has been thrown our way for 4 years, in each and every one of these things, we can see two streams of thought. One of those is to preserve those good things about the United States, to recognize not only the good things, but also the flaws of founders, but to refuse to dance on the grave of the democracy of the dead. And on the other side of this is the idea that the founding is wicked, that the founders must be toppled and replaced, that the values that we have cherished and the values that made us great, that those are completely an abomination, that they're anathema to the revolution that these individuals so desire. It is a civilizational crisis. I've said this before. We are at a place, and you could see it from a mile away, we are at a place where great civilizations start to go, and these new civilizational models that try to rise up begin to gain steam, and there's a place where those two cross paths, and they simply cannot coexist. We are there right now. We're there right now. One group, however, the civilization that is on the decline, and we are. The civilization that is on the decline looks and says, we believe that the values and ideas that we have, not only that they have served us well, but that we ought to do everything we can to ensure that they serve our children and our children's children and our children's children's children forever and ever, so long as the republic remains. The other group says, go to hell. We're coming to burn down the entire project. And we are going to replace it with a kingdom, this authoritarian, scientistic, demoniac kingdom that challenges every single idea that you have. Your ideas of men and women, your ideas of where we came from, where we're going, who we are, your ideas regarding good and bad, regarding righteousness and evil, regarding traditions and religion, regarding law and order, regarding race, those things that you simply cannot change about yourselves. To change ideas about repentance and forgiveness, there is none in their world. There is no amount of penance that you can do that can absolve you from something you simply cannot change. That is what is on the ballot right now. And I encourage you to go out and to do everything you've got. If you need to call friends, call friends. If you need to call family, call family. If they're going to give you heat, take it and roll with it. Because that's what this show's about. You take it and you roll. And you have to know it's not going to stop tomorrow. It's not going to stop tomorrow. And you have to be prepared. So resolve right now. Place yourself, posture yourself, look ahead and say, this is not something that tonight we can all go, yay, it's over. You have to look at it as a long game that, in fact, if the activists who've been plotting and scheming and the Democratic Party that's been plotting and scheming with them, if they get their way, this is going to go all the way to the inauguration. And it will not stop. So buckle up, kiddos. Buckle up, kiddos. It's going to be tons and tons of fun. Tons of fun. Carol says, pray to end the murder. Yes, pray every day to end abortion. Pray every day. In the comments, this is the first time I've ever been truly afraid of what was happening in my country, state, and city. You have a good reason to be afraid. But you also have a good reason to laugh, and so we're going to do this. We are going to the memes, folks. We got to transition out. It was the only time that we transition. It's the only time we're like, yeah, it's N to M, right? News to memes. We're transitioning. News to memes. Okay, let's see here. First one, if you like memes, make sure to send them to me. You can do that at social media, of course, at Facebook or Twitter. You can also do that by sending stuff to paleocratdiaries@gmail.com. We're always grateful for that. So, wife. So how's the new patio coming along? Me. Okay, so promise you won't be mad. Oh yeah, dude. Check out Mario. How mad would you be, ladies? Would you be down with that? I mean, is that okay? You know what I'm saying? Would that be... I think my wife would love that. I think I'm going to do that. I might even just paint that on the front of the house. Oh, she's going to hit me. She's going to hit me. Yeah, Rose says, you're right. Thank you for speaking out. Amen. Thank you, Rose. Yeah, I speak out every single day, 10 to noon. Sometimes like today, going over. Let's see this one. What is this one? Madagascar. Gladagaskar. That's cute. Sadagaskar. Outagask. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Dude, I hate being out of gas, man. It's been a long time. Yeah. Madagascar, dude. Look how mad Madagascar is compared to Gladagaskar. Where, by the way, where is Gladagaskar? Sadagaskar is hiding, and Adagaskar, it's never been, it's been around. It's been around. I don't know where it is now. Don't know where it is now. Okay. Not a Pascar. What? Wait, I didn't even catch that one. All right. Whether or not you're a good boy, depends on what system of ethics I choose to apply. Dude, that's so true. It's so true. I mean, he's sitting there and the dog is like, you believe me? And he's like, I don't know. Where do you stand with the cats? Where do you stand with the cats? If the dogs and the cats are able to, like, you know, lay next to one another and they're kind of chums and stuff, you can trust the dog. If the dog is always chasing away the cat, you got to be really careful. You just got to be careful of that dog, Please tell me you saw the same thing I did. Dude, what the heck? Was that? Oh my gosh, dude, that's the tail. Oh, dude, I was like, dude, I gotta move. That looks terrible. That looks really bad. What are you trying to find in there, puppy? What are you trying to find? It's like where they put the radio communication. Well, you can see his 2 legs in the background, though. Dude, that straight up looks like that dog is, you know, doing the thing. Not good. We're going to skip over that. Perverts, when your kids keep telling a story and it won't end. Oh, man. What are ways that you can move on? You know, like maybe like look like you're kind of faded out and then slowly walk somewhere and leave the room as they're talking. Like, what are things that you can do? What are things that you can do, man, that get you out of that situation? Because it does happen. You know, we should teach kids how to tell better stories, you know. Stick to details that are important, things like that. Stop wasting Papa's time. I love my kids. They don't do that. My kids are the best, man. Am I high, or is this tomato going to kill me in my sleep? Yeah, it looks like it's going to kill you. It looks like it's going to kill you. Although, you know, the eyes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the eyes. It looks like it's coming to kill you. Just like this. Just like that. Chewbacca, the Wookiees. I'd be like, dude, if I saw that on the security cam, what would we do? What would we do? It's a little too fake, though. Like, you know that it's not real. Me trying to do anything on the internet? Are you registered to vote? Like, in your face? I feel like that happens constantly. And that's one reason why I don't even like getting on. I think it's all ridiculous. It all ticks me off. It all makes me mad. Man arrested for putting fake arrow decals on the floor in IKEA. Really? He was arrested for that? What? And for creating a labyrinth with no exit. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, David Bowie from Labyrinth, breathing heavily. Can you really go to jail for that? Let's see here. When you go to reheat your coffee and you find the coffee you never had the chance to drink yesterday. Dude, okay, I'm going to leave it at that because I actually need some more coffee. So I'm going to go and be like, we got a lot to do. I got to move on. And dude, it's true. I do this. That's not as bad. Like, would you guys drink that, by the way? Would you drink coffee if it was left in the microwave overnight? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe the morning before? How long is it good? Do you wait until you can see those little mold spots floating at the top? You know, it's a good question. I don't know if the science is out on that. You guys need to let me know. Let me know, stat. I'm really grateful for all of you. And I'm sorry that today was a little bit long, and I'm sorry that today had a bunch of kind of serious stuff, even some flubs. But I'm not sorry for saying that I appreciate all of you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the show. And for all of you who want to check out PaleocratDiaries.com for interviews, speeches, other inquiries, you got to contact PaleocratDiaries@gmail. It's a whole bunch of fun. Make sure to check. Also, I got a bunch of stuff you got to check. You got to check Paleo Cheese Podcast. I think there was an episode posted just this weekend. I haven't yet shared that at PaleocratDiaries.com. I'm going to do it. And lastly, you simply have to do this. You have to make sure tonight, it's the only time I'll ever encourage you, go to my social media, go to Telegram, go to Facebook. We are going to keep you abreast with what's going on because it's wicked bad. And we need you to stand strong, and to stand strong even on your knees in prayer. Until next time, never give up. Keep on smiling. And memento mori. If I don't talk into microphones, I don't make that mad cash. Making all that money. Making that mad loot, right?
Mind control.
So we see the minority elite imposing their ideology on an unwilling and resentful populace. This causes a backlash. People get ticked off. The left is working long and hard to make us feel as if we've done something wrong. Worse yet, that we are the problem. Don't let people just rip on your heritage. Don't let people just rip on your traditions. Don't let people rip on your heroes. Stand up for what you believe, what made you who you are. So unless this disenfranchised majority begins standing up for what they believe in their heart of hearts to be true, I think we'd be left with nothing more than a dirge and maybe a funeral procession.